What is it about Casey Neistat that makes him one of the greatest filmmakers of all time? Okay, so if you've seen any of Casey's videos over the past couple of months, you'll know that, well, that intro wasn't mine. That was actually a rendition of his own intro. And so I kind of wanted to do that as a challenge and just to see how it was. But it was super fun making it, and I hope you enjoyed. But anyways, I want to talk about how Casey has changed the scene of filmmaking here on YouTube. Because over the past 3 years, Casey has made a film school that has amassed over 10 million subscribers and has been seen by over 2.5 billion people, which is kind of staggering. And considering that he probably doesn't even know that he created this film school, well, let me explain that, because this might not be making too much sense yet. Okay, now we are finally set down. Oh, wait, I need to get my computer real quick. Okay, and now that I've got my computer, let me pull up Casey's channel to explain a little bit better what I meant by his film school. Okay, so this is his film school, and you may be thinking this is just his channel, but if we go back to his videos, you can understand a little bit better. When the vlog began, that's when his film school really started off. And what I mean by that is, well, his videos and vlogs they're not just vlogs. Many vlogs are just a recap of somebody's day, but for Casey, it's more of a story. And you can see that by his titles and his thumbnails. Let me read some of them off to you. The Chinatown Zipline. Metal engraving a MacBook Pro. Found a GoPro in the ocean. Pretty cool. The making of a viral video. How to turn your Apple Watch gold. And honestly, the videos and the vlogs that don't really talk about filmmaking are the ones that can teach you the most about filmmaking, because they follow something that I like to call the form. And this is something that Casey has mastered, and it's really shaped the way that YouTubers make videos. Because before Casey started this vlog, a lot of people's videos didn't kind of come in the form that he has presented. But let me just break this down so it's a little bit easier to understand, because it's something that's super simple, but for some reason it's just hard to verbalize. So let's go. Oh yeah, and the overhead shot like this is one of Casey's favorites, and I'll explain some of his better shots that he does in a couple minutes, but let me first break down the form. Okay, so this is the form. It starts out pretty simple. Casey starts out with a thumbnail that catches your eye. And then he has a creative title. And so all of his videos start with a spike of excitement. And so once he's hooked your excitement, he then introduces the video. And he kind of stumbles around talking about what the thumbnail and the title were about for a really long time.
Technically, I'm still on leave.
Maybe there's a couple spikes along the way.
Yeah, there's gas. I'm also going to be placing this.
And then he finally reveals what it's about. You spike up a little bit more, and then the video's over. So you watch this entire video to find out what's gonna happen in the last minute. And so this makes an incredibly captivating video, and it's the entire goal of what Casey does. So So that's what I like to call the form, and that's not what Casey's exactly known for. He has definitely created a way of captivating an audience, and it's really powerful. But what makes him one of the best creators on this platform, and really just an incredible filmmaker, is his way that he has developed a style. There are a couple shots that define him as a creator, and that really bring his videos together and make them more cohesive and a really compelling story. So let me show you some of his favorite shots that he really takes advantage of in almost every video. So let's head back to my room for that. Okay, so now that I'm back in my dorm, I want to demonstrate to you guys the 4 biggest tactics that Casey really uses to develop his storyline and kind of create a narrative in every single video. So he doesn't necessarily use these tactics in every video, but they're used in most videos and they create an interesting effect. So the first one is the overhead shot. Okay, so I obviously don't have the same tabletop or setup as Casey.
You could hit this thing with a hammer and not break it.
This is kind of the type of shot that he gets, you know, it's kind of a table, and he usually uses paper like I did earlier to kind of demonstrate a point. And it's a really powerful tool to be able to explain certain topics that are hard to verbalize but easy to draw out. And so it's commonly used in videos where he has to explain something, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, enough of that awkward positioning. It kind of felt weird like being like that, but basically the second tactic that Casey really uses a lot is the zoom, and he usually does this to create a feeling of intimacy. And let me just quickly demonstrate. Yeah, so something like this where you're really close to my face and it makes you feel a little bit uncomfortable, but it really brings you into the subject and makes you feel like you're face to face with me, and it's a little bit scary, but it's a powerful shot that conveys a lot of emotion and makes you really feel connected with the person talking to the camera. Another one of Casey's tactics that he really uses a lot is he starts a conversation and a story in one area, and then he'll continue it into another. And so he'll start telling you about how he was flying his drone and then it epically crashed into the Hudson Bay and he lost it forever. And so it's something like that where he'll start the conversation over there and then he'll finish in here, and it kind of makes you feel like, well, you're getting to experience the day while still following through a story. And it's just an interesting effect that a lot of filmmakers don't take advantage of, at least here on YouTube, but it's something that really draws together a narrative and creates a really clean storyline. Okay, and the final tactic I'm gonna talk about is Casey's over-exaggerated style of doing things. Okay, so I'm gonna provide an example by tying my shoes, and this is kind of what would happen if Casey would tie his shoes or something like that. It's gonna be over the top. I'm sorry about this. I like doing it, but it's just might be a little over the top, but whatever. So as you can see, it was a little bit over the top, but it's Casey's way of making things that are mundane, super exciting, and just really entertaining to watch. Like, no matter what it is, like you've tied your shoes 1,000 times, multiple 1,000 times, and it still like was kind of an interesting take on tying your shoes because there's so many different angles, and yeah, it's Casey's way of doing things, and I really appreciate it, and something that I've liked seeing over the years. But let's continue. So those are some of the shots that Casey gets, and that's really the form that he uses to make his videos. So you can use that to become a better filmmaker, and really just watching his videos will help you develop as a filmmaker because you'll see what it takes to make great films. And so definitely go check out his channel, go watch some more videos, and really analyze what he's doing. And for me, watching Casey has been such an inspiration, and it's just inspired me to make films and taught me how to make films. And that's kind of the film school aspect, because if you've ever watched any of my other videos, you'll know that my style is really reminiscent of Casey. And a lot of that is because I've watched his vlogs for so long that I almost took him as a mentor. And watching his videos just taught me how to make films and taught me what I liked. And so if you're working under a mentor, usually you'll adapt the same style that they have. And so for me, Casey ended up being my mentor without him even knowing. And without him, I probably wouldn't be making this video right here. So thank you, Casey. And thank you to everyone that has watched this video. So as usual, I'll see you next Tuesday. Live happy, be healthy. I'll see you then.
The wingman in the party I know. Ray and all his nephews repping sweet talk. Shaka go make my friend's best friend from Belize. She loves TDE, favorite songs called The Grains. Say not